All right, this is day 2. What is it? August 22nd, 2021. I've spent the part of the morning here working on the trough pieces here, getting them polished up. I mean, they're not... We didn't do like evapor rust or anything like that for a whole month, but we got... I mean, the blemishes here, you can't even feel them. You've got the 3 trough pieces here. I think we went down to about 1,000 grit sandpaper and we polished it off with 3,000 grit. So, gonna play around a little bit with the pause feature on the OBS recording system. So, rather than having this video be a whole bunch of repetitive stuff, I already went through this, kind of checked all the contacts and things like that. A lot of it's just redundant that I don't think is really necessary to be in a recording for hours. Here's kind of the brackets that hold the back of the playfield together. As you can see, they're pretty rusted. So right now I'm going to hit that pause button, go clean them up quite a bit. I mean, it's not very necessary that they're all cleaned up, but you know, for a nice refurbishment, you got all this kind of rust that's encroaching around the sides. It looks better when you take the game apart if you have to do service on it down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that pause button right here, and a couple seconds it'll be nice and clean. Alright, we've got the playfield brackets installed again. You can see they're shiny. We went with the 280 followed by the 400 sandpaper. I'm not going to do any more than that because that's hardly in need. But you can see here's the rear trim for the playfield glass. So I'm going to clean that up next. We're gonna get these guys polished a little bit nicer because that's more exposed. Quite a bit of rust there. You could flip it over and maybe have this be the presentable side, but I don't know. Sometimes if those screws are off a little bit, that could be a problem. But you definitely want to clean both sides anyway, because if you install it like that and then just clean the upside and ignore the downside, now you're going to get all that corrosion that's going to start landing on your glass when you take it on and off. So regardless, you got to do both sides. So we'll get at that right now too. All right. That didn't take too long. I got the top piece, we only went down to 1,200 grit, I think. And the bottom piece, I did, what was it, 280? I did 280 on the inside, got most of the rust out. I mean, it's smooth to the touch, but it's still discolored from all that. But just like everything else, we're finishing with 3,000 grit sandpaper. Of course, by the time you get to 3,000, it's more like a cloth anyway. So if I'm doing this right, this is always kind of weird. Okay, it goes all the way up there. Just got to get one screw going to get it started. And it's still a little bit wet. I do wet sanding, so make sure that's dry. You'll know who worked on it when you take it apart in another 50 years. My fingerprint oil will be embedded in the metal, so if there's any dispute on who did all this work. So that looks a lot better. I mean, the top piece didn't really need it, but I like to do it just to kind of blend it all in together. I never like doing this part. I still have to have breakfast. Kind of got to feel around for that, make sure everything's the right height. Maybe I'll go live. I'm not live right now on Twitch, but maybe I'll go live later. When I get the playfield put back in, we can do more detailed stuff. Things like this aren't really, I don't say noteworthy. It's a lot of fidgeting around. Is that my phone ringing? No. It's another beautiful day in Woodbury. It's supposed to get up to 78 today, so I'm going to have to close the windows here in a little bit. I'm going to put this in. I got to find my screwdriver. I'm going to put this back in, and then I'm going to pause, and I'm going to put the playfield back in, and we can put the trough back in. So, ironically, we're actually putting stuff back together, which is unusual for this early in the process. These screws, you got to line them up just right. Okay, that's not right. There we go. I haven't even taken a shower again. I haven't even brushed my teeth this morning. I like to be humorous, I like to be candid, I like to just say whatever's on my mind with reason, you know. I like being serious, I take my refurbishments seriously, I take my day job seriously, but you have to have humor. sure that lines up. We'll find out right away if it's not lined up when we go to put the playfield glass in. We can make adjustments as needed. Since John might be coming over today to work on that captain in the corner, I'm going to pull that, hit the deck back glass on my back porch, and we're going to hit it with some Krylon triple thick. I do want to do a separate video on that going through. Actually, my co-host on the Pinball Outpost, Dave Lee, he wants to do, he has some good ideas there with doing back glass clear coating, so we're going to maybe do an independent video on that. So we won't be doing hit the deck for that detailed video, but we're going to do maybe, I have a Gottleb baseball downstairs we can do on that, and that's not on a time crunch. I mean, I want to have a back glass like that and be protected. It should stay in its home more than anything, because when it's sitting on the floor down there, you know, you run the risk of dropping a screwdriver or something like that. So it's better to have it back in its home. And of course, we'll vacuum out all the flaking wood, flaking paint from over the years. So, all right. Some of those screws don't want to tighten in too much, so it makes me think they might be stripped out, but that's pretty secure. I could probably pick the game up by that if I had to. So, all right, I'm going to eat some lunch here and we'll keep going. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I went ahead and zoomed in on the FS relay. I'm going to move this microphone back here a little bit. So we're waiting for that back glass to dry. Let me set this down right here. Hopefully no sudden audio disruptions or loud noises. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you some perspective. This is from the top down. This is our FS relay, everybody's favorite thing to work on. I kind of have to look off to the side so I know what you're seeing is appropriate. Let's go this direction here. And these things always get sticky. And what everybody does is puts like a stronger spring on here. This is functioning pretty good, but there's a couple spots. See that? Where it just kind of hangs up a little bit. A lot of people think it's kind of the wipers that I took apart, and I'll set them right here so you can see them. I already have it disassembled. We can try cleaning it up with some solvent. I want to try and do it without taking it all the way apart. Let me get my Phillips. Wait, I don't need a Phillips, I need a flathead. So we're going to tighten these down too, make sure everything's tight, because we got it apart, which it is. That's good. Sorry, I keep thinking my microphone is built into my camera, which it's not. It's way over there. So we'll get those tightened down a little bit. That should not make it worse, because I think our problem is with the kind of that, what do you call it, the dowel, the post? I don't know what the technical term is. It's a little bit better. And sticking a little bit. There it is. There it sticks a little bit. So you think maybe lifting up on this would help, but I don't think it does. And maybe it's enough, but normally when everything's put back together, it's not enough. So what I can do is get some, where's my degreaser? Grab that, I'm off camera right now. And I wish I had a Q-tip. Did I just bump the camera? I think I did. So let's do this. Stack. Get rid of all that crap. Super lube is what I use at work, and it's what I use on my pinballs. See if that helps a little bit. I don't think I did a lot. Make sure we're going up and down as we should. Looks like we are. It did seem to help. See how dirty? Yeah, it's a little bit of dirt. It's all that old lubrication that's causing problems. I can't tell my orientation here. But more importantly, we want to get inside there. Couple squirts. Mop up the excess. Work it around. I don't like to use like WD-40 because that turns into glue over time. And it's break. Okay, fine. I was rolling my paper towel in the spoke right there, so that seems to move a lot better. And then hopefully we worked out some of the grease. And clean this surface a little bit. If it's really dirty or they put something else on there, this can get really greasy, but it seems to be okay. Oh, don't want to drop my extra parts down there. I'll do the reassembly with you guys because that's more critical than taking it apart. Feels better. I hear the lawnmower's going outside. These contacts are always really dirty. I'm trying to hold it still so you can see it. Let's do this. Let's do one side. You got to make sure they line up. That's what's important. Oh yeah, they also put electrical tape on this one contact because that can sometimes short out right over there. So I don't know if that was done at the factory or by a service person in the field when the game was on location. But that's pretty common to see. So we got to do contact side down. Say in a lot of cases these are really bad. I'll even do like a little pass of 3000 on here sometimes, but this one seems to be pretty good. So I'm just gonna get this one going here. It'll probably need fine tuning, fine adjusting. You want to make sure that everything's kind of centered. Oops. That board doesn't really have a lot of wiggle room, which is fine by me. You can kind of see how you can adjust the board a little bit. Just do that for now. Looks like we're on 7. Yeah, see how that's really holding up if we pry this open? It doesn't really solve it, so we still have more work to do. Let's do this. Loosen that up. There we go. That in a more happy spot that isn't binding so much. Let's try that. That's better. What am I doing wrong? There it goes. Oh, I'm holding the finger back. Okay, so it's not going to be perfect, but because there's going to be resistance no matter what. Get that cleaned up a little bit. Put that on. Get that started. That's way off, in case you can't tell. There, that's better. Let's find a spot and line it up. Let's go to 0. That looks pretty good there. That looks pretty good there. Go up a little bit on this side. Again, we might have to go back and adjust it again later, because it's probably going to be stuck a little bit, but I just wanted to give a demonstration of what this stuff's all about. There's one and one, so that looks good, pretty lined up. We'll play around with it, see how it goes. Just a little bit of resistance still in a few places, but it's a lot better than it was. Here, I'll show you what I've been doing. Well, I had everything on pause for a while. Let me orient my camera. Let's see, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, so yep, I did all, I did all these switch stacks right here. Next we'll maybe work on these score reels and see what's going on with those, clean those up, tighten those switch stacks down, make sure everything's properly adjusted. Then we'll put our back glass in, and then we can put the playfield back in, maybe start working on some lighting and getting the playfield cleaned up. So I'm going to hit pause here again. Alright, so I was going through the score reels thinking that would be a non-exciting event, but turns out I did find something which isn't too exciting, but we have an end of stroke switch here on the, what is this, thousands unit. So I already got the score reel completely disassembled and everything. We'll align this up, make sure that's in good shape. And sometimes these get really bound up with lubricant. This one's in pretty good shape. I do have another end of stroke switch here, but I have another game out in my garage that needs like the longer. I was going to replace the entire switch, but then I remembered that I think I need this for my other game outside in the garage, so I'm going to do the best of both worlds here and use this to fix both games. So if I can somehow get my MRI safe pliers out here, just going to crack into this thing. I just need the blade. So we'll do that there. I'm going to save this, set that aside for my other game. Because we have, I don't know if you saw, but where's my wire? There, I think someone put like a rubber band on it too. I can't tell what's up and what's down here, but yeah, here's the other tab on the wire, and I kind of saw it just dangling there, and there's like a corroded rubber band on there. So this should line up just perfect. So we'll go ahead and crack open the original switch. Tell what you can see and what you can't. So I'm just going to take one of the bake lights off. Very important, you're off by one bake light and you're in trouble. So from there should be this larger piece of metal. I think that, hang on, what am I doing here? Let's do this. See if I can get that off. This is going to have to be realigned. I don't want to bend it too much. I might have to readjust to make sure it's flat. Get out of there. See if I can pry it. I'm trying to wiggle it off so I can kind of get some leverage in there. There we go. Oh yeah, it's damaged now. So let's fix that real quick. It should be flat. That's good. Gotta remember the order that it was in. So here's my bad piece. You can see those tubes run all the way through that hold the screws. There they are, okay. Those run all the way through. So that's why not everything just crumbles apart. Is that grammatically correct? So these should line up, right? Have some, that looks good. And we'll get this bad boy on. Nope. Where's my good piece? There we go. Okay, I think we're good. And I'm missing my last piece of bakelite. There's that. Get that on there. Excuse me. Gotta talk into the microphone. Probably sound like I'm mumbling because I feel like I'm swallowing the microphone because there's a camera right in front of me. So we'll get that back on here. Got a couple of really small nuts. Can you see that? No, of course, my finger's in the way. I can't tell. There's the little nuts that go on the other side. Get that tightened down. Did I do that right? It looks kind of far away. Use my pliers here to hold these nuts. I can't tell if I'm pointing this at the camera properly or not, so this is so hard to do when I'm trying to show it to you. See what I'm trying to do here, right? I'm trying to embarrass myself, so I'm trying to do. Let's check the other one. If I can get my finger in there and hold that, keep it from spinning, there. Go the right direction. Beautiful. As long as one turns faster than the other, it's gonna work. That one's still loose. I'm trying to balance this screwdriver against the flat piece of that bracket and get in there and turn this. Like that. And then it slips out. But it should be enough. Get these out of the way. I think that's touching. As long as that opens, we're good. Oh yeah, it's touching. Come that way a little bit. I'm looking to see that other switch flex that comes out. It's not encroaching on the plastic piece. These usually get kind of frozen, but this is nice and loose. So we'll get that. I always check these two. In fact, hey, as long as we got it apart. Oh, I was shooting in the wrong direction. Kind of lift that up and get underneath there. Make sure those springs are good. Oop, didn't want to do that. Now, what did I do? There we go. This guy's got to slip back in there, and that's keyed, so you can't screw that up. Yeah, that lube can get really glue-like. In fact, I'll maybe do this guy too a little bit. Where's my wet spot? Get that back on. Get this back on. This is pretty good. Line my gears up, right? So we're gonna do, you can kind of tell, let's go one more over. You can kind of utilize all the gears, or all the teeth in the gears, I should say. I don't know what's correct or what's not. Now these are primarily black, so dirt's not going to show up too well, but we are going to clean the score reels. Get that back on like that. And then this, and this, and this, and uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh no. When I was reaching for stuff up there, I bet you I flung it. Is it on the floor? Maybe it's still up here. Looking for that J clip, right? That's not cool. I bet you I flung it onto the floor. I might pause it again. Unless I already stacked it in there and I wasn't paying attention. No. Uh-oh. I've got more, but it bothers me that I don't have the original. Let's take a look. Alright, I'm gonna hunt it down. Unless it's like dangling on my sweater. Alright, I'll tell you where I find it when I find it. I'm determined to find it. Alright, where did we leave off? I was looking for a pin somewhere, or an E clip. I called it a J clip. There's a reason for that. And if you know what that is, you know what that is. But anyway, so we got the score reels put back together. I cleaned those. I kind of got on a roll. I finished my back glass. Let me get some light on in here. And then I had to find a soldering iron so I could solder that wire back on. I don't know. I'm kind of unsure of which direction I'm going here, and now I am. So, like I say, I got the back glass cleaned up, put back together. We're in better shape now. What else did we do? Since I paused the camera. I think that's about it. I got the playfield kind of set back in. I took the playfield and put it back in the cabinet while I was looking for that E-clip. So yeah, earlier we talked about getting the trough pieces put back together. We got those cleaned up. We're going to kind of prepare those now to get those back in the game. Yeah, let me get some cleaner. We'll maybe look at that playfield a little bit. Everything looks good. We'll maybe take this apart from the underside. Kind of get rid of some of this dirt here. I don't know if I plugged it back in yet. I don't think so. But we're pretty much at a point now where it can power up. So I've got the aprons on the top and the bottom. I'd like to maybe get those cleaned up and put back together, just so I kind of have more of a basis of where I'm at. Things just look better that way. Like I say, a lot of these projects that I work on, I just pick away at them. I don't really have a point of having dedicated time like this or having a structure to a video. So if I'm kind of all over the place, that's why. It's how I work. We have pieces that are in the parts polisher. We can maybe take those up pretty soon and take a look at those. And then I do want to get these blades taken off, of those switch rollover things taken care of. Get those polished up too. Alright, that's looking good. I'm curious to see how this playfield cleans up. Oh, somebody calling me or texting me? One of the two. Alright, when I get aggressive like that, we risk taking up a little bit of paint, which we may have done just a small amount of, but it's, I mean, it's either that or have a dirty playfield. So. I think somebody tried touching it up somewhere up at the top. I think I remember like the aqua purple. When I was loading up the game, I think I saw somewhere where somebody did try and touch it up. Yeah, I found it. Here, I'll show you. I found this when we were loading the game up. You can see between the 10 and the jack. I don't know if you can see the colors. There's a spot right here and a spot right there. They tried to touch it up. I suppose by that account, they didn't do a bad job considering it took me a couple of seconds to find it. So, Yeah. I got it. Tonight I'm kind of getting ready to do a parts order too, so I'm kind of recombing the game over and looking at what kind of parts we're going to need outside of the standard stuff. I don't really keep parts stocked up. I'm trying not to be a parts hog, especially when the supplies are becoming limited in the pinball world right now for older EMs. Well, that dirt's coming right up. That's good. Again, we're going to get aggressive, but it's going to get clean. Oh, yeah. But like I say, in some cases, you might sacrifice just a little bit of paint flaking. But it does get the game nice and clean. Those flipper bats are going to come off too, so not worried too much about that. Let's just trying to find some examples of where we can clean it real quick. Oh. That's turning out pretty nice. Let's see, what else? That's good for now. I just wanted to see how well it would clean up. Now we can start putting this trough back together. This switch I think we can attack from the underside. Okay, now I got the playfield clamped down, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. And I think I had my trough hardware over here. I like it when all the screws are the same. Can do this. Let me get those cleaned up a little bit too. Gotta find my Phillips. There it is. Those probably could have been left in, but when you take them out, you get a better exposure of the surface, so that helps. Yeah, this thing's really dull in comparison to the rest of the metal, so let's grab the flat. Just grab a fistful of those screws here. Just load up. A little bit warm to be wearing a sweater, but it's really cold weather, so I'm wearing a sweater today. Not bad for early, it's not early, it's mid to late August. It's August, what is it, August 22nd? Yep. I suppose I could even, now that I'm kind of continuously running the camera for a while, I could even do live, but I don't know that I update the stream. Let me take a look here. Let's do, it says I have followers that followed me months ago. Let's do, but that was just a couple days ago. Sorry, I got getting distracted. So those dates are wrong because I don't know, 5 days ago. Not that I care about followers anymore. Not that I ever have. Yeah, why not? All right, so I'm in the middle of my recording there, so we'll do do a little bit of a live stream if anyone's paying attention. So nothing better to do on a Sunday afternoon but work on a pinball machine. Right now we're getting the trough put back together. First we're going to put the apron brackets on. Put the apron on. Then maybe we'll take we can take the flippers, not the flippers, we'll take the flippers apart, maybe take the pop bumpers apart too. And what else? Kind of get everything else ready. Now we'll do a bit of a deeper cleaning on the playfield. Should put some music on. I don't have any. Forgot where my earbuds are, so no music for me today. I get to listen to silence. Peace and quiet helps. Actually, I'm not really listening to anything sound. I'm listening to my parts polisher sitting out in the garage that contains all those post bracket. They're not brackets, they're posts. I was trying to avoid using the word posts, but that's technically what they are. They're the metal piece that goes in the middle of the white posts. Alright, that's good there. I'm probably going to have to lift the playfield out a little bit to get more of this put back together, because I can't get to it from right down there, so I'm going to have to move that camera eventually. And this switch blade's going to come out. But it's the actuator, not the blade. Having a hard time getting my terminology right today. A lot cleaner, no rust. Probably got lunch. I had, what was it, after last night, doing all my yard work, I went to Taco Libre and I had the steak machete. Had half of it last night, half of it for lunch today, so I'm probably wearing half of it on my face right now. But you can hardly even see me, so what do I care? I got like Under Armour gym shorts on and my free agent lifestyle sweatshirt on. I ordered the medium-sized sweatshirt. I probably should have gotten the large. It fits me kind of tight, so when I order another one, maybe I'll get a large. Because that's what we do around here. Just working on the hobbies, working on the house, working on the yard, keeping busy, helping people with their pinball machines on the side when I'm not doing my day job. Got it's a Sonic Super Straight sitting out in my garage too. I'm looking forward to doing that because the playfield is in really nice shape. Doesn't have any playfield wear because they made the playfield out of polyurethane, I think. Yeah, a little bit of fingerprints, but that's from the handling of that one. It's so shiny, and I got, orange cleaner on my hands, I got solder on my hands, I got playfield wax on my hands, I've got playfield cleaner on my hands. What else do I have on my hands? Mayo from my lunch. There's that cream cheese. I don't know what they put in those things. That bracket will be ready to go back on too. Where are we at on the recording? See what we're up to. 40 minutes. Gotta make sure my hard drive doesn't, because that thing's like 6 gig. The one I did yesterday, part 1, it was 6 or 8 gig. So I gotta make sure I don't run out of hard drive, because I put a really small hard drive in there because I'm doing a lot of other things on this computer, which include external hard drives. So what do I care about the factory hard drive? Gotta flip that screw over so it goes in the right way. Why is it always when I'm live on camera I can't turn a screw? Alright, that's in, ball trough is in. We're going to adjust that later after we take it off. I'm looking at the apron stuff underneath. A lot of that's already kind of clean, but let's see, let's take a look. Let me do this. A little bit of cleaner on there. Can always do a better job cleaning it when it's out. Some of that's dirt, some of that looks like it's paint missing, or is it just ball damage? It's already in really nice shape, so let's take a look. See, in order to put this back in, I gotta pull the playfield out. Let's do this. There we go. Now what can I do? I gotta do something with this here so it's not in the way. Oh, I gotta get the shooter gauge in there too. In fact, I have to do that first. Let's see, shooter gauge is down here. Get a little bit of cleaner on there. Stuff's a little bit potent, so I want to be careful. Don't want to take the paint off. Go real lightly over the paint. Down below I get a little bit more aggressive. I know you don't see it, but I like to have all surfaces cleaned. See how things are doing. Yeah, my internet's been behaving a lot better recently. Anxious to get those flippers apart. Still have to tighten all the switch stacks too. I don't know how I do it, but I have it all memorized, what I've done so far and what I haven't done. That's why I give everything a once over when you're done with it too. I hate this part. Everybody hates this part, especially me. Yeah, that I've been doing it wrong all these years. It's always that nail you gotta get over. See if I can do this. Oh, that was easy. And the screws. Sure, don't step on any cords, knock any cameras off, hopefully not. So I gotta figure out what kind of flipper kit I need to order, because the timing on this game is like 1978. But if I order a 1978 flipper kit, am I really getting what I need? They have the time cutoffs on which game which flipper kit goes for and when. So this is still in the polisher. Okay, I'm gonna lift this playfield up and try not to bump into anything. goes the microphone. That's pretty smooth. Don't know if leaving that up there is beneficial, if I should set it on the Indiana Jones here. Maybe I'll do that. All right, let me see what we're working with here. So I got like 3 different views we could point. Let's go up to the flippers a little bit. Maybe the DMD camera could be adjusted up. Okay, that's a smaller view, so what do we care about that? Yeah, there's our Captain Fantastic restoration. There. I've been meaning to get these tightened down too. I haven't really checked over these. I like to tug on all the wires and everything, right? Maybe I'll point this down a little bit for now. Yeah, so I'm completely blocking one of those cameras, but the other one's okay. I don't have a method to this yet, so. For the cameras, I mean, not for the game. What am I kidding? I don't have a method for the game yet either. I always check all those, make sure they're not loose. So far we found one loose wire on the end of stroke switch on the, it would be the 10s, 100, it would be the 1000 unit on the score rail, so we got that replaced earlier. Getting all these tightened down. So for the recording I'm doing, I think I'll just pause it here because this is pretty redundant. Just hit the pause there and keep the stream going. Alright. So we can go for the flippers right now if we wanted to. I should have grabbed the screw or the Allen wrench out of another one that I rebuilt, because that has the exact proper Allen screw that I need to get all that stuff apart. But in fact, I think I need to take this bracket apart just to do the rebuilds. So, just start taking stuff apart. I think that's a red nut driver. No, not a red, but it's yellow. Is that 9/32? Sure feels it. No. 3/8, isn't it? There's 1/4 inch. I can't read because these are getting all corroded. No. Did I just grab the same one twice? I might have grabbed the same one twice. Or I could just use a flathead. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright. Is that the same one I already did? I can't read the values of these nut drivers anymore. Let's do, I bet you this is it. Yes, it is. Yeah, they're in there, so we've got a flathead screwdriver's not going to cut it. Let's see how everything looks. Sleeve's not too bad. All this stuff's going in the garbage. Make sure my microphone's not down there. Coil's not too bad. So far we need one coil for the chime unit. I gotta find out what Allen that is. I'm using the Weeha tool set. Oops, sorry, the microphone's yelling into the microphone from across the room now. Let's see what we got. That one looks pretty used. I bet you that's it. Nope, too big. one's also too big. 9/64 and 1/8. Let's do one smaller. I think that's smaller. Smaller yet. Hopefully I'm not missing something. I think the ones in the flipper kits are larger than the ones in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. There it is. Wow, I wouldn't have bet it that small. I think the one in the rebuild kit's bigger. Ta-da. Okay, good. I'm not paused. That's good. That's out. Now I'm stuck. And the other one's right there. I'm curious because I think that's a Bally shoe, or not a Bally shoe. Maybe it is a Bally shoe, but it's a Bally bat up on top. Maybe not. Just two different generations. I don't know. It's not the right one. So now I can take the plates off, and then I'll take the end of stroke switches off, and that'll be good. I don't know. I'm gonna get around to the other side if I can do it blindly. See if I can feel it. I'll have to angle the playfield forward a little bit. Find the other one. There we go. Where did that spring go? I heard, no, it didn't go anywhere. I thought I heard that magic sound of things falling through the playfield. Oh, it screws away. Is that it? I can't see. Beautiful. So this guy's loose, so the shoes are appropriate, but this bat's wrong. This bat's right. This one's loose. I'm gonna replace them both. Now that I've got those off, I suppose I could just take the flipper plate apart. I got a 1/4 inch. I got flat. Just kind of making a pile in the cash box for the flipper parts. And we'll do the pop bumpers next. You know what? I could just plug my iron in and then remove the wires for the switches. I don't have an extension cord around here, do I? Probably not. Trying to think of where I have one. Just clip them off, I suppose. Takes a little bit more work. Hey, look at that. It grabbed on there. Come on, get out of it. That's good luck. It grabbed all the way around in that little hole there. Normally I just desolder these and solder them back on, but since I don't have a hot iron right now, I'll just clip them. So we'll get this all taken apart and rebuilt. Doesn't look too bad actually, but I want to rebuild them. what's going on over here. We got that out, so let's just take the plate out. Alright, whose idea was it to wear a sweater today? I shouldn't be done that because I'm sweating pretty good in a sweater. But it's only 75 out. Alright, hardware goes down there. Can I reach over there? I think I can. You know what I should do? I should cut those wires off first. Ah, forgot to take the coil out. But that'll make it easier, right? And then I still can't read these. Where's my 1/4 inch? There it is. After this, I have to change clothes because I'm getting too warm. Ooh. Alright, flippers are out. Next are the pop bumpers, and we'll work on those after I change into some cooler clothes. Alright, I flip-flopped the cameras so you can get a better perspective on what's down below and what's up above. I still have the playfield camera where it normally belongs or where it normally lives. So, let's see, should I have gotten my tools prepared a little bit better? Maybe. I was looking at this the last time I took the break there, and I noticed that this wire's been, the power here's been spliced in half, and it's been soldered on twice. I mean, normally they have to be bridged together, but the fact that there's 2 other connections here seems kind of odd. I don't know if they're trying to do some type of diagnosing or what the deal is. So at some point we do have to get the light sockets out. It looks like this is a newer style pop bumper assembly than what you normally see on these generations of EMs, but we'll go with it. I think the best way to tackle this is just start. Oh, I forgot. Completely forgot I took this apart and started working on it too. It's another one of those stepper units, right? As you see in the back box, this is the KS rather than the FS. So just got some of that taken care of. I think the parts are right down here. So what's nice about these is you can just disconnect them and get them out of the way. Not that it's in the way, but if I put it back together, it wouldn't be in the way. 2 Jones plugs here. Put that down, put away. Alright, I'll just leave that stuff there for now. So, let's see, what do we want to look at here? Let's get the ring and rods off. So we need the yellow nut driver for that. They're all the same color. Start by getting those off. I'd like to fix those hacks if I can. Hopefully they gave me enough room there. So if they modified it too much, that wire might be too short. Trying to see where they made those connections for the light sockets. I've been reusing light sockets more recently. Now that I'm doing LEDs, I just put some solder on them, and that usually helps. Put the connection. I think we could take the brackets off now. Oh, don't you love when that happens? There we go. Now if I was smart, let's do this. After I pull this screw out, and for all the games I work on, I don't even think to do this very often. Put a towel down. If I can do that, help catch everything. Here's the first one. Yeah, this I'd like to fix somehow. I'll have to think about that because, like I said, the wires don't reach as far as they probably should. I'll show you what we're gonna do here. Get that cleaned up. Set the screws down here. We'll definitely replace the sleeve, check to make sure there's nothing broken in the yokes, get those cleaned up too. Do the same for all three. Let's check those sleeves. Yeah, it looks a little bit, these look a little bit newer of sleeves, so I don't know if that's just the manufacturing process when they were getting ready to go to solid state. Could adjust those a little bit too. Now I can sever the connection on the wires for the socket. So the question is, where do I want to do that, or do I just want to desolder them, or what? Let's get the staple out of there. See some heat shrink tubing. I don't know if they went all the way up there with both the wires or not. Looks like they soldered right there, so I guess the same happened on the other side. So it may be more beneficial for me to cut it a little bit more upstream so I can resolder it over here where it's safe. Because I don't want it shorting out on the bumper body or the bracket. Let's do that. And cut this over here. Cut this one way back over here. Again, I don't have my iron. Ideally, I could desolder it and then just resolder it. It's less work. Same goes with this. We got another staple there. Let's start by getting this bracket off first. all the way down there. Come on. That gets cleaned up. The weather's really nice out. I want to get out. Oops, microphone's over there. I want to get outside a little bit today too. So I've been kind of picking away at this all day and doing some other stuff around the house, kind of being lazy, coming back and forth working on this, kind of getting the house organized a little bit because it is Sunday. All right, looks good. A lot of times these things just kind of snap or crack in half the metal, so keep plenty of spares on hand if I need them. But these look good. Let's see, where else can I cut? That staple out. You could cut right there and then just resolder it on. But again, ideally, I think my iron's over there from the end of stroke switch. This one's a little bit easier to do. That one out. Let's get that staple out of there. If I can. Question is, can I get it to reach again? I might have to make another, who knows, I might have to make another wire out of it. This one's been replaced before, it almost looks like. So, alright, that looks good. What else do I want to do under here? Not much right now. I think I'm good. Get that out of the way. Let's put the playfield down. I'm just going to pause it. Alright, I went ahead and lowered the playfield, repositioned all the cameras. These bumper caps look like they're almost brand new. I don't know if somebody already replaced them when they worked on it last or something, but they seem suspiciously nice. These light bulbs are, what are these bulbs? They're like the smaller ones of the 44s. They're more of a sphere than they are a cylinder. I don't know. So everything should be cut unless I missed a wire, so we'll see what happens here. One. There's two. And three. And the mylar's pretty weak usually, a game this age, so you can kind of see where the mylar used to be if it lifted up, and where the dirt kind of disappears. Let's see, why did I do that? Let's do this. Now at this point, maybe want to grab the rest of these guys here and just grab a tool that I have and see if I can lift up. I can always replace these if I have to. I can order them if I have to, but I don't want to. Let's try. I need to get like a lever of some sort. Now see how I have the pop bumpers removed, I can kind of use that to leverage down a little bit if I want. I want to smack myself in the face. That's in there pretty good. Let me go get a hammer. That's the proper way of doing that. Let me do that. Alright, that's better. Little Home Depot stir stick here. A lot of times, that's so much better. Yep, that's the right way of doing it. I have to start a new pile for my meddling. Where can I get another cup somewhere? No. The other one's out in the garage. Here's one. Now, if I was smart, I would have grabbed all the other stuff underneath the playfield. Boom, just like that. These down here make me nervous. I almost like to polish these in place because they're so low to the wood. I don't want to start getting gouges in there. These star posts, I think I have. Do I have the right size tool for that? I need a deep enough socket. I think if I have, what is that, a 1/4 inch or just under a 1/4 inch? Let me see. If I have the right socket. Oh. Of course, the rest of that star post though is so wide. I don't think this is going to work. I know I have a ratcheting tool around here too. See how I come prepared? I think that's a 1/4 inch, maybe. I don't know. Let me go get my little ratchety tool. I think that's the reason I bought this. Oh, it's too big? Really? Oh no, it's right. There we go. Yeah, I gotta remember where these go. Basically, it goes where the tents go, and there's just one more up here, right? Kind of using my finger to rest on the playfield so I don't accidentally scratch the playfield. I think that's it. Yeah, it's just that, and then there's this other one up here. That's easy. My little to-do pile over there, and then like I said earlier, these two here I like to leave those in because I can clean those in place. It's not worth the risk damaging them. Same with this, we can get some 3000 sandpaper on there or some metal polisher and that'll be just fine. I'm kind of looking at these guys around here. Maybe want to get those cleaned up. We can take those out from down below. Other than that, pretty much everything's off the top of the playfield. So, yeah, we'll start cleaning it a little bit more and see what happens. I like to find the dirty parts and see how they turn out. Don't want to let that sit too long, otherwise it loses its magic powers. Now, some people use that magic eraser, but it takes the shine out of the playfield. Not like there's a lot of shine on this one, but it starts to change the surface of the finish. And see, there goes the dirt right there. That's good. Get a new spot here. Trying to set this down somewhere. What do I want to do? So we got that region done right there. Let's kind of go this way a little bit. The nozzle on this thing's kind of goofy. Try to go with the grain of the wood. More dirt coming out right there, that looks good. Oh yeah, that white area is really cleaning up well. Let's do some more up there. Kind of focus on the top part of the playfield so at least I know where I left off. Joker's cleaning up. I don't know if that, you able to see up there? Yeah. Dry spot. That rust off of there. Stuff isn't usually that effective on metal, but we can see how it cleans up. Oh, not too bad. I'll use my metal cleaner for that later. Floss underneath. Even if in some spots you don't normally... Can you guys hear me okay? Yes? No? Maybe?
Even if it's not in a spot that you normally see when you're playing, you don't want that dirt to kind of creep over time. Take that out. So this is kind of our first overview of cleaning it. We're going to go in. The playfield's pretty. Yeah, so this is a dirty spot. Here's a kind of a clean spot. This is just a cleaner. It's not a wax. So still got to wax our playfield and everything after the fact. The paint is actually pretty resilient. It's not coming up as much as I thought it would. Again. Shooter laying down a little bit. I'll focus on that later. Just trying to do a quick once over. Dirt is coming out. See, what haven't I done? Right in the center. Get around those pop bumpers. Slingshots. It's not nearly as dirty, but we want to wax it for sure. Get that stuff cleaned out of there too. That's another thing we have to do. Let's lift up the playfield, move the cameras a little bit. Alright, so no joke, as I was kind of putting the playfield up, getting everything put into position, I did hear my motor parts polisher kind of dip out a little bit, and the lights flickered, so I don't know if it's something going on with the city. The weather's nice out, but I think I don't know how static all this video is, so I think I'm going to wrap it up and conclude it as a video, but I'll kind of show you what I just did here. I took this one, this is an outlane, it's only like a one-way, so I took that out of kind of right there, if I'm pointing correctly. Yeah, right there. So we're going to go around and take all those out there, there, and over there. So plenty of work for me there. I'm not going to do that on camera because I don't want to lose this video. I want to just do a stop and then let it like finalize or however it does. So yeah, we'll upload this and then I'll do some more minor stuff this evening. Nothing exciting. Maybe put some more stuff on that was taken off, like those posts and whatnot. But I'll give you an update when I start the next one.